Today we'll be making a spicy fried monkfish with sauce from Thailand. Now this sauce is called Prik, which translates to chili water fish, so perfect for our uses. In order to make this, we're going to use about 3 cloves worth of garlic, a lime, some sugar, 2 tablespoons. Also fish sauce. If you haven't found this before, it's usually at the local Asian store. On top of this, we're also going to use some chilies. Now, traditionally you would use bird's eye chilies, but I just have these. If you can't handle spice very well, I recommend using 1 or 2 chilies in your Prik nam pla. But I love spicy food, so I'm going to use 6. That's probably pretty spicy though, that like Thai levels of spicy. And I nearly forgot. On top of this, we're going to be using some olive oil to fry up our fish, as well as about half a pound's worth of monkfish tail here. This is generally served on white rice. Now this rice I just cooked up beforehand. It doesn't matter if it's cold. Actually, I kind of like it cold. But we will need to cut up our vegetables here. I split the lime in half. Now we're just going to toss the whole lime into our mortar and pestle. If you don't have a mortar and pestle, you can just use a mixer, but in that case you want to squeeze out all the lime. We're also going to be cutting up our chilies here now into little pieces like this, like a couple of millimeters long. If you don't like spicy food at all, you could also remove the seeds, but I mean, this is Thai food, so it generally is really spicy. Thai people, they really love their spicy stuff. For our garlic cloves, I'm just going to smash them a little bit first. Let's split them in half from top to bottom first, and then we'll just cut them into about the same sizes as the chilies. Right, so here is the mortar I'm going to be using. Stole it from my mother, so thank you, Mom. So let's toss these into the mortar and pestle here. Again, totally fine to use a mixer, but if you have a mortar and pestle, it does add some extra dimensions to this, because you're going to squeeze out some of the oil from the lime as well as from the skin of the chilies. But it is delicious using just a mixer as well. Also, mixer is faster, so you have to decide for yourself. Next up, we're going to be using our fish sauce. There really isn't any replacement for this, so you will need to get the fish sauce. So we're going to use about 5 tablespoons worth. I'm just going to pop that in here. Fish sauce sounds kind of weird. It is actually fermented anchovies, but it is very delicious. So we're going to balance this out with about 1 to 2 spoons worth of sugar. Now ideally you would have palm sugar, but I ran out, so I'm just going to use some white sugar. I'm sure brown sugar would also work even better. So this is going to be all the ingredients for our Prik nam pla. So what we're going to do next there is go in with our mortar and pestle, and we're just going to start smashing this up. You want to make sure that you squeeze out all the juice from the lime there, and you want to crush all the other stuff as well. Usually you can do this for a couple of minutes and you should have a nice Prik nam pla. Make sure you incorporate all that sugar into there as well. So I'm going to remove the lime skins now. Now of course what you could do is to add chilies a little bit at the time and find the spice that you like. It is going to be spicy, just so you're aware of it, and the white rice is really going to help kind of mellow out that spice. But for now I think the Prik nam pla here is done, and it smells delicious. Kind of weird if you're not used to this taste, but I think it's very tasty. Next we're going to cut up our monkfish here. And while we're cutting up the monkfish, I'm just going to toss on the pan here, and I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. Now any oil, cooking oil would do. Probably about 2 tablespoons worth here for these 2 fillets. Like I said, about half a pound or 230 grams worth, probably. Something along those lines. I want to cut these up so I can eat them 1 piece at a time. Okay, let's do like 1.5 centimeters or like 1 inch-ish pieces, something like this. They're going to shrink a bit down once we fry them up as well there. Make sure you remove any like sinew from the meat like this. This we want to cut off. Alright, so here we have our nice pieces. Now you could add a little bit of salt and pepper, but like I said, that spice pretty much brings all the taste that you need to it. It is salty, it is spicy, it is sour, it's sweet, it's garlicky, it's perfect. So let's get these pieces on here. These won't need to fry long at all. Probably like 1.5 minutes on each side, maybe 2 should be plenty. Yeah, so these pretty much just finishing on one side after like a minute and a half. So I'm just going to turn all these little pieces here around. Alright, and I think our monkfish here is already done. It's just been a couple of minutes total. Let's turn that off. And these are delicious served while they're hot. So I'm just going to put them on top of some rice here. As you can see, I made this beautiful rice circled. So I'm just going to pop those on top of the rice here. So there are essentially 2 ways that we can serve this Prik nam pla along with the monkfish here. First thing is going to be to just put it on top of the fish and let it like kind of soak into the rice. Second option is to put it into a cup and kind of dip and add as you eat. That way you can kind of control it more, how much you use. I can show you how to do both these methods. So let's first add that sauce. Make sure you get down to the bottom here. There's a lot that sinks down. Put it on top of everything here. But I really do recommend adding a little bit at a time. Don't just pour it all over like this, but I'm gonna do it either way because I want to take a cool photo so that you click on this video and watch it. Problem with eating and filming is that you have to make like a nice photo before you eat it, and then you get extra hungry. And let's put something into this little cup here as well, so that way you can kind of serve as you need it, especially if you have dinner guests. Some people may like a lot of this, some people may only like a little bit. Also, I would stay on the side of less chili if you're going to serve this to people, because this is going to be spicy. Alright guys, so let's do a little taste test here. Traditionally they eat it with a fork and a spoon. So how we could do it is that you could put a little bit, for example, on this piece here, like that. This is way too much. And then you grab onto your piece with your spoon, put a little bit of rice underneath, and now the sauce is going to sink into the rice here as well. And you eat it with your spoon. Cheers! Man, that takes me back to Thailand. Woo woo! Spicy as well. I think this is quite spicy. Maybe 6 chilies, maybe you stick to 2 or 3. You really need to handle spicy food if you're gonna eat this much. Besides this goes very well with beer, because this is so spicy it makes you eat, and then you want to drink some beer, and then you want some more, and yeah, you can drink beer quite fast with this food. Anyway, I'm gonna put together like a step-by-step guide on how you can make this yourself. Also, tomorrow I'm making another monkfish dish. Surprise, surprise. So if you want to see that, you can tap here and I'll add a link. Eating monkfish every day this month. So thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you tomorrow.